Okay, Liliana, you're here with Kyrone Davis. Kyrone, you are facing Yoenli Hernandez coming in, and I did see him in the undercard of, I believe, the Benavides fight. And looking at him, he only has 7 fights. What do you know about him? And what are other people telling you about him as well?
Um, I don't really know much about him, but I have seen that he had a pretty good amateur background. He had a good amateur career, and that his pro career he has been successful. I've watched maybe a few rounds of him, and he seems talented. He seems pretty good. He seems pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like Yoenli is being pushed as the A side coming in, but given your, experience with, sparring guys like Broner, Golovkin, Boo Boo Andrade, right, and the likes of J Rock, do you feel like that experience ultimately makes you the favorite coming into this fight as opposed to someone who, yes, may have all knockouts, but when I personally looked at his resume, it doesn't seem like it's any guys that hit pretty hard, the guys that he was beating
Yeah.
knockouts. So,
Um.
how do you feel about that?
Um. It's interesting. I think that you know, I don't know about like the favorite or anything. I don't really get into like the favorite. Like that never matters. Like this is not one of those sports where the favorite really matters. Like what happens in the ring is what happens in the ring. So like opinions don't really matter at all. What's going to happen is going to happen. So we'll see. I mean, it doesn't really do anything to me though. It doesn't feel any type of way. I mean, people could think what they want, but we got to fight.
Yeah, and especially since your last fight too with Elijah, a lot of people were having him as the ace head and were kind of picking him to win. You had
They
an
weren't
amazing
kind, they weren't
fight.
kind of picking him. It was a 10-1. So if you bet $100, you make 1,000. So I mean, I was significant underdog in that fight.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like you're coming almost kind of pushed as the underdog here. If you win again, do you think that this finally makes you a guy that you can't deny you have to get a title shot next because you've been upsetting guys that they kind of put you as a B-sided?
That's why we wanted the fight. That's why we wanted the fight. So to keep pushing towards the goal, which is a world title. Um, and we wanted the best fight that we can get. We wanted the fight that was going to bring us closer. We wanted somebody ranked high. We wanted um we wanted to push the envelope. We weren't looking to fight anybody any less.
Is there anybody in particular in the division that you see? Not that you're looking past, Joanne Lee, but is there anybody that you see in the division that you're eyeing and giving your style? You say, hey, that guy I can definitely take.
I think I'm the best middleweight in the world, not the best middleweight over here or on the East Coast or on the West Coast or the best middleweight in the UK. I think I'm the best middleweight in the world. So anybody essentially can get it, like Adrien Broner would say.
I think one of the things that, because people do like you, and given the last upset, I think you gain a lot of fans too, a lot of Mexican fans. I feel like people do feel that you are inactive, and then they dig in and they find out it was because Elijah was the one that withdrew, right? Because feeling sick. But is this inactivity in a way due to those things, you being the B side and kind of your opponent cancels, or is it like a thing with the transitions of Amazon and Showtime? Like, what has been kind of the reason you've been inactive?
I can't really pinpoint the exact reason. Some fights, certain things, it takes time though. Of course, I would like to be more active, but in this sport, it's a business, and there's things in the business that is sometimes you gotta wait for. Sometimes you don't want to just take any opportunity. You want to take the best opportunity. Um, but the inactivity hasn't bothered me. I stay busy. I'm always in the gym. I'm always training, so it doesn't feel like I've been off for a year, even though I have been. Um, but it's not a big deal. But I feel like what needs to happen is um the fighters that we want to see fight, they gotta fight. And a lot of times I'm getting guys that say no to me. We have a lot of guys that don't want to fight. I'm high risk, low
Yeah, low
reward.
reward. Hmm.
So when it comes to like just getting a fight, sometimes nobody wants to fight me unless something's on the line. Unless it's a title eliminator, unless it's for a title shot. The champions, they're not gonna fight me unless it's a mandatory or they're not gonna voluntarily unless it's a certain amount of pressure that's put on them. So that takes away from to get in fights as well. And we don't just want any fight. We don't want to just fight anybody. We want to fight the best guys available. And that's what we do in this fight.
So kind of acknowledging that boxing is a business, but also saying like staying a fun fighter. How do you feel about kind of like we got last weekend, right? Where these top guys that got millions to kind of, not necessarily entertain, but
I don't
fight.
think what I don't like is people try to say that boxers get paid too much. I don't like that because boxers risk their life.
Yeah, they're risking their lives.
They're risking their life. You can say that watching it on the couch, but you don't know the things that we put our body through. And for all the fighters that have not got paid, or all the boxers that are now broke after their career, this is great that we're getting paid, and it's finally pay us our due. You know what I mean? Like we guys aren't the same after some guys after some fights. I was coming up and a guy named Prichard Colón, I think he was about 15-0.
Oh, mhm.
We used to be on the same cards. You know what I mean? He was cool. Like you know what I mean? I knew his team, and he one fight. He's never the same. He can't even talk really right now. He can't move how he used to move. He's literally a shell of himself.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? Guys like a guy that I fought, Patrick Day, died in a
Yeah, he died.
died
Yeah.
died and died because of his injuries in the boxing ring. You can't say that we getting paid too much. This is not one of them sports, you know what I mean? If we're here to entertain and the event is putting out this much money and everybody's coming to be entertained and they're getting paid and everybody's making money, they're not giving out free money. This money is not coming out of nowhere. This money is because the event is doing well. So if the event is doing well, the TVs are doing well, the fans are watching a fight, then the boxers should be getting paid. I think we should actually be putting less on the fighters, and how about the promoters and the matchmakers and everybody else who gets paid so much money to put on the event and they don't ever gotta take a punch. And they can grow into their 90 years old having the same job. And boxers' lifespan go into what, 35 maybe, if you're good, I
And
think
you
that
don't have a health insurance or any sort of
it's a
plan.
lot. It's a lot. We won't have a union. How about all the fighters that get robbed by corrupt programs and we have to fight to get our careers back on the track. Like there's there's so much that the fighter has to go through so that you for people to be talking about fighters in a negative way when it comes to compensation is I don't think that is fair and I don't think that is right.
So yeah, because that's actually an interesting point because I think lately, because of what happened the weekend, I see more boxers saying stuff like that. Like, oh,
But
don't pay these guys, right? Like even Rolly, I just came back from that press conference where
some
Rolly
people
said,
aren't educated. Some people aren't educated. It's almost like it's almost like shooting down HBCUs and saying why do you cater to a minority? You know what I
"Mm,
mean? It's almost on that same type of. It's like you don't understand that you're hurting yourself. You know, like you want everything to be fair, but you know that it's never been fair to us. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like it's never been fair to us. I think it's just not knowing. It's a little ignorance of not understanding how long this business is, how much people actually making off of you
mhm.
and never t-
Pay
ne-
off
and
some
never
people
and
still too."
never and never ever taking a punch. So many people get paid off of you and never ever take a punch. You got people that you're housing so many jobs. You just put Rolly for example. Rolly, he fights, say he's the main event on a fight. Everybody who works at the networks, the video crew, the media, the interview, they're all getting paid. The people at the concession stands, the people that's usher people in the aisle, everybody, the referees, everybody's getting paid because you're fighting. You're creating jobs. As a fighter, you create jobs. You are an entertainment. You are creating a spectacle. The whole city of Vegas, if you're fighting in Las Vegas, is getting paid off people traveling, airfares, the casinos, the
Hotels. Yeah.
hotels. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's a business, you know? Like there shouldn't be a cap on how much the main event or a cap or shouldn't be on how much a fighter should make. A fighter should be able to make $1 billion if he's producing that much money to the city or wherever he's going.
That is super cool that I got you giving that perspective because it's like I said, it hasn't been really that way. Getting back to Yoenli, he does have 7 knockouts, I believe, right? I think he has 7 wins, 7 knockouts.
All his wins are by knockout.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, what I saw. How
Yeah.
do you come into this, smarter and the guy that for sure is not going to be the eighth?
I mean, the knockouts have anything nothing to do with that. I mean, I fought a lot of powerful fighters. I've been in the ring with a lot of powerful Canelo Alvarez or Golovkin. I've been hit hard, you know.
Mm.
That type of stuff doesn't bother me. He is a capable fighter though, you know, and you gotta just be ready. It's not it has A, B, C, D. It doesn't matter. We get in the ring and fighting. You gotta be prepared, you know. And we gotta be prepared for anything. This could be a really, really, really hard fight. Or this could be an easy fight, but I'm willing to go wherever we go. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging him or anything. Maybe he is an opportunity that he doesn't maybe necessarily deserve, but he's there and he's capable. So you got to respect him. And that's what I plan to do. I plan to win by any means necessary. And I don't mean that means if I got to come off my back, if it's a war or if it's an easy fight, no matter how it goes or wherever it goes, I'm willing to take it there. That's my attitude towards the fight.
Now you're no stranger to big events. You've been at all the arenas and all the events, pay-per-views and whatnot. But for this one, the last one you were a prelims main event, and this one you're in the main card. What do you have to do? Do you got to knock the guy out of there to hopefully maybe get a main event or even a co-main for a big card soon?
Um, like I said, I don't think about that kind of stuff. I've been the main event on a card. You know, I was main event when we fought Anthony Durrell, was main event in the packed out Arizona when we fought Benavidez. I've been co-main events. I've been headliner on local shows. I've been in every facet. I've been the first fighter on the show, you know, and I've been the walkout about after the TV's over and then the fight is afterwards. I've been in every aspect
And the
of our
swing bouts.
yeah, I've been in every aspect of where you can possibly be on the card. That stuff used to bother me maybe when I was younger, but I'm a 30-year-old man. I don't think about that stuff. I'm here for a job. I'm sacrificing for my family. I'm in Vegas. I've been training here for weeks and weeks and weeks, months at a time. It's a job. I got to come here and do what I got to do, and then we worry about what's next. And, it's not. I'm not concerned with where we are on a card. We can fight first. I still got to do my job.
Oh, I love that. Okay, and then I just want to shout out your music because it's pretty good. Like that's why I was asking at the beginning because I looked through your profile and I was like, oh, there's a lot of music. But I thought because it does say entertainment, I was under the assumption that maybe you produced it or maybe you
Yeah.
do. Right? Talk to us a little bit about that music aspect. Are you coming out to your own music?
So
Um,
people naturally assume that because I'm a boxer, my music wouldn't be good. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They would because they think that because I've spent all my life maybe boxing and I got so good at boxing that I wouldn't have time to really get into the art of music. But I've been doing music forever. And it's something that I'm really passionate about, but not just passionate about, I'm talented at. I write music for other artists. I'm a songwriter, not just I mix people music. People send me beats, I mix their beats. Um I love music though. It's one of those things I would do 100% for free. But I have picked up a following, and I use my boxing to kind of anchor some of my music because people are watching me for one reason, and they see me for another reason, and I'm able to have packed out. I do packed out shows, and we do it in Delaware, and everybody comes and it's lit. It is something that is just part of my life. It doesn't take away though, because when I'm training, it's boxing and I'm listening to my music while I'm training. When I come home from training, I might mess with around with some music. Give me something to do. You know what I mean? It's really just something to do. I can't get in trouble in the studio, especially when the studio is right here. Like I I came here for training camp. I bought a bunch of studio equipment and made a room as a studio.
Yes.
So you know what I mean? So it's just something I do. It's just part of me.
Of course.
My music is everywhere. You can listen to it anywhere, and people be saying it's pretty good. I do it because I love it, but people appreciate it, so I keep making it.
So the people that are unfamiliar, do tell, what's one, what fight should they look back at to, get ready for what they can expect for you against Yoenli, and then your best song that they should look into that's like the introductory to your brand, to your
I,
style, to your genre.
I don't know if there's any fight that you can look back on because this fight's gonna be different. There's
Yeah,
really no fight to look at.
you adapted.
Every fight that you watch, I have a different style depending on who I'm fighting or how I'm feeling. So I mean, if you want to get ready for the fight, just turn on your TV and on Amazon. May 31st. That's how you get to know me. And
Are you telling people to bet because you were, like you said, 100 to 1
it
underdog? Do
was
you are
10-1.
you
I was 10. I mean, I'm not telling nobody what to do with their money. That's what I don't do. I'm not telling nobody what to do with their money, but I will win. I will win by any means necessary on the 31st.
the song? What song can we come up and check out to kind of, is that do you have a style? Because, like a genre where you stick to, or is it kind of like you're fighting where you adapt depending on how you're feeling?
Yeah, I adapt depending on how I'm feeling. So my music is a lot like my boxing, sometimes I'm the aggressor, sometimes I'm on the back foot boxing. And just, look me up. Kai Shut It Down. It's on everything, and you can go find something that you like. But everything boxing and music, it coincides. So if you like my boxing, you're gonna like my music because it's really the same person coming out when I'm talking, the way I'm expressing myself, the way that I move, even my artistry outside of the ring is very much me. I don't do anything fake. So if you're talking to me, you're gonna get the real me every single time.
Lastly, for real this time. Main event prediction, Caleb Plant. I think he's out there. He's loved by the Mexican scene too. Do you feel like he's gonna win against Resendiz, or do you think
Well,
the underdog got him?
I'm biased because me and Caleb got the same trainer. We stable
Yeah,
mates. See him. We've been talking. We use the same doctor now. I'm biased.
he plugged you. He got you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
speaking of chance, he was the plug to
that's
get
my
you in.
yeah, and we cool.
Nice.
We've been cool for a while now. I'm biased, but even if I wasn't biased, I think that he's gonna win his fight. He should win this fight, convincingly. If it's not by a knockout, then a dominant performance.